You only have to be right once to change your life forever. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Christopher Aaron. We have a special gold price alert for you. It is December 16th, 2025. I hope you are doing well. Gold is on the verge of making a new all-time high. It's less than $100 away, and I expect that it is going to make a new all-time high. I want to show you the reasons why, and it's all based on evidence in front of us on the charts. New all-time high is coming for gold. Get ready for it. The other thing that I want to show you in this video, in the second half of the video, I want to tell you about a gold mining company that I personally am investing in. The name of the company is KO Gold. KOG is the ticker in Canada. They do not have a U.S. listing yet, but they will. The big thing about this is the first ever gold mining company that I have invested in New Zealand. You know, we hear a lot about Australia and South Africa for mining gold. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but there is basically a new gold rush going on in the southern island. Otago is the southern part of New Zealand on the South Island. I want to show you the research that we have made absolutely for free in case you want to join me in investing in KO Gold. I'm giving away this information entirely for free. Take it or leave it. Decide for yourself, but I expect this is going to be a big one. If you do want to join us in investing the minimum, which is $10,000 Canadian, you can get free warrants with your investment that get you nearly twice as much upside if the company succeeds with no additional downside risk, practically speaking. And just to answer your questions first, because people always ask this, and rightfully so, but no, I am not taking a single penny, not 1 cent from KO Gold or any other company that I talk about here. That is my guarantee to you. They are not paying me whatsoever. I have a different business model. You have to be very careful about who you're listening to, you know, what services you're signing up for, who you're listening to. I do not accept endorsements from any mining companies or bullion dealerships. My business model is to publish the research that I find most useful, and I hope that if you find it useful as well, you will consider joining me and investing in the same types of companies. That is my business model, okay? That's my guarantee to you. And just to show you that it works, I'm not going to hide this. Look over the last 2 years at all the gains that we have had. These are all the companies that we've invested in, gold and silver mining companies. Look at these gains. Southern Silver, a triple. Remember, 200% is a triple. And then we have another 123% gain on the warrants for Southern Silver. Providence Gold, another triple, another 100% on the warrants, another nearly 100% on equity metals. Impact Silver up 100%. Bravada Gold 50%. Sirius Resources up over 100%. Guys, we have a 100% success rate over the last 2 years. The average investment that we have done is up 114%. And if you join us in the private placement, we are up an additional 46% above and beyond that. 100% success rate the last 2 years and counting. And I expect we are going to keep this up. If you would like to join us and to get those free warrants in addition to your shares, the deadline to register for our service called Elite Private Placements is this Friday, December 19th. So we will get into the gold price update first. Here's our legal disclaimer. Remember, I always put the macro backdrop first. As an analyst, if I didn't think the price of gold was going to continue higher, I would not be investing in most of these gold mining companies. Maybe one or two, you know, a few special circumstances, but most of them I wouldn't be doing that. So when we look at the gold price here, what's going on? Aha, look at this. We've had a very nice consolidation triangle, as you can see here in blue, lasting from the peak, the all-time high, at 4,381, which was set in October, down to the low of 3,886. And notice a second reaction high, reaction low, forming what? A triangle consolidation pattern. Aha, that pattern broke out in very late November. And so when we have this type of triangle consolidation, one of the ways that we can measure a target for that pattern is to take the amplitude of the entire widest part of the consolidation and then add that amplitude onto the apex of the triangle right here, yielding an official target 495 added on to 4,115. My official target for physical gold in the spot market is 4,610. So this implies that gold is going to be making a new all-time high over the coming weeks. Very latest I would see this happening is in the first quarter of 2026. So the backdrop is there for gold. It would take a violation back below the triangle pattern right here, which right now would come in below 4,115. I mean, gold is about $200 above that. So this looks very good. We have an official higher expectation for gold. And so if you're with me so far and you want to learn about one of the gold mining companies that I am putting my own money into, then I'm going to share that research with you now for free. The company's name is KO Gold. This is a company in South New Zealand, Canadian domiciled company. KOG is the ticker on the Canadian Securities Exchange. They will have the U.S. ticker coming. I've made that a contract. Part of our participation is them getting the U.S. listing. So that'll be coming. We want that coming so that U.S. investors, when it develops into a mania over the coming years and people are just throwing a few $1,000s at anything with the word gold in its name, we want U.S. investors to be able to buy companies like KO Gold. So that is coming. They have a historical 600,000 ounce gold resource. This is a very similar situation, different jurisdiction, slightly different geology, but similar backdrop as Provenance Gold. If you were to rewind Provenance Gold, let's call it 2 or 2.5 years, before they made their big new discoveries at the El Dorado project, they had a historical resource at that project. This is what KO Gold has right now. The amazing thing is that with this historical resource, the current market cap of the company is only $2.8 million. I mean, Provenance Gold right now, their market cap is more like 35 million, like 10x of this. And Provenance is really just getting going in the bigger picture of things. This is tiny, tiny, tiny. And so the upside, if in fact they demonstrate that this 600,000 ounces still exists in the ground, excuse me, and let alone if they show that this is a lot bigger, that's where you can get the tremendous upside revaluation here. So, insiders, institutions own 30% of the company. It's a nice ownership level that they have. Shares outstanding very low. This is a super tight structure, 24.4 million shares. I mean, this thing, if they prove this discovery here and expand it, I mean, this is one of these setups that can really, really skyrocket. They're low on cash. Obviously, that's why they're raising here. The raise is going to be 1.5 million Canadian. They have no debt. None of these statistics apply. It's a development stage company. None of these statistics apply. They have one development mine, 5 exploration sites. They're not going to be producing this year or next year. This is a company that could have a re-rating by many factors if they prove this and then expand this. That's the big story. Guys, the amazing thing about buying shares in KO Gold, if you're going to buy with us in the private placement, is that we are locked in to buy at 15 cents per share. The stock is currently trading at 18 cents per share. So that is a 20% initial profit right off the bat. How else can you start an investment up 20%? Think about that. If you're going to invest the minimum with us on a $10,000 Canadian investment, you're up $2,000 just to start. By the way, if I was not going to be participating in this private placement, which I am, I'm putting a good chunk of my own money into this placement because I think it's going to be the last time to get these warrants for free. But if I wasn't doing that, yes, I would consider buying shares of this in the open market. You want to remember, this is an early stage, high risk, high reward company. So you don't want to be putting like all of your portfolio or anywhere near that into this one company. But as one of a basket of companies that you own, yeah, I think this is a worthwhile one. And so this is the big thing. I have negotiated 3 years from the closing for the warrant. Remember, these are given to you for free if you participate in the private placement. The minimum for the private placement is 10,000, just over 10,000 Canadian, 10,005 Canadian dollars to be specific, gets you 66,700 units. Each unit consists of one share and one warrant. And the warrant gives you the right, but not the obligation, to buy more shares at any point within 3 years at 25 cents. So if this thing goes, from 15 to 45, it triples. You got a triple on your initial investment, and then you have nearly a double on your warrants in addition. So that's the benefit. If this thing goes 10 times higher, you're going to have like an 8x on the warrants. You can take your initial investment off the table, no risk, sit back, sit pretty, and watch this thing hopefully go higher with no risk until you choose to exercise your warrants and cash those in for the profit. That would be if everything goes according to plan with this. Of course, there is risk. The deadline to register is this Wednesday. If you're not already in our Elite Private Placements program, remember this is a separate additional program to the Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. You've got to be registered by Wednesday. I need your subscription forms back by this Friday. Very tight deadline. And then it is Monday, a week from today, that your wire transfers need to go to KO Gold directly. Remember, I don't touch your money here. I've negotiated these deals for myself, for you. The actual transaction is between you and the mining company itself. And we're here to help at any point along the way because I know the management. I speak to them on the phone regularly. And so we're in close communication. And I've met them in person, just so you know. So let me give a little backdrop of this opportunity. This has to do with Otago, that region in southern New Zealand. Otago is actually the backdrop of a gold rush that occurred in the 1860s. So there was a gold rush back then, and here you can actually see, this is a photograph, one of the first photographs, 1850s, late 1850s. This is the site of the gold rush that happened there. You can see all the tents, these white structures over here are the tents. These are some of the outcroppings where exploration was done. And so what's going on right now is something of a second gold rush in this region in southern New Zealand. So to show you that, this is what I want to show you. This is a producing gold mine, the Macraeus gold mine. We'll be talking about this in the future. It is owned by Oceana Gold. This is a multi-billion-dollar company. KO Gold's land literally touches this land. I'll show you the map in a moment, but it literally touches. So you've got a producing gold mine owned by a major gold producer here as the immediate neighbor. So it looks like what's going on here is something of a second gold rush in the Otago region in South New Zealand. Here's the production of gold over the last 150 years in that region. You can see it got up to above 700,000 ounces produced at the peak of that gold rush, came way down into the 1980s when gold was in a bear market, stabilized here, and sort of we're at a bit of a trough kind of level, stable though over the last 5 to 10 years in this sort of 220,000 ounce. And really the question is, are we now entering a gold rush 2.0 in the Otago region? I want to show you why I believe that is developing now, and that plays into this investment thesis for KO Gold. To do that first, we have to look at the chart of another company. This is another neighboring company. This is Santana Minerals. And notice here, over the last 3 years, Santana Minerals is up 1,500%. Now, you might be wondering, where is Santana Minerals? Right here, right here. And what kind of deposit do they have? 2.5 million ounces in the indicated and inferred resource. Santana Minerals is right here in this blue, which I'm now going to circle in green so you can really draw your eyes to it. Santana Minerals is right here, and follow my mouse. Remember, that is up 1,500% in the last 3 years. Follow my mouse. 340 million market cap for Santana. Follow my mouse. Look at this. Here is KO Gold's first major property. It's called the Carrick deposit. This is about 20 kilometers away from Santana's 2.5 million ounce discovery. They just made this discovery in 2021. The company now has a $340 million market cap. KO Gold is 20 kilometers away in this similar geology. And the market cap of KO Gold, $2.8 million. Guys, this property has a historical resource, 600,000 ounces in the ground. If that could be expanded to, let's say, 1 million or 2 million ounces, which is realistic with a big drilling program, look at the market cap of KO Gold, 2.8 million. Look at the market cap of Santana, 340 million. Actually over a 100x increase in value for 2.5 million ounces of gold in the ground. As I said already, KO has a historical resource of 600,000 ounces gold in the ground. Now, look at this. They have done 98 historical drill holes to demonstrate that resource. And the other thing is that this Carrick gold field, this deposit here that KO owns, is a past producer. They produced 24,000 ounces of gold at a very high grade, 30 grams per ton, between 1860 and 1920. So this was a result of that original Otago gold rush that happened in the 1860s. This was a past producing mine, okay? 20 kilometers away, you have something that's worth 100 times this. This was a past producing mine. What do you think would happen if they stick 20 or 30 drill holes into the ground and suddenly realize that it's a lot bigger than the, historical resource? 600,000 ounces is the historical resource. What do you think is going to happen to the market cap? Look at the difference here. Same geology, same region, 20 kilometers away. Let's look at the zoom in here. This is the zoom in of the Carrick deposit owned by KO Gold. I mean, look at some of the grades. Some of these are good. 13 meters of 0.5 gram per ton, 11 meters of 1 gram per ton, 10 meters of over 1 gram per ton, 14 meters over 1 gram per ton, 17 meters over 1 gram per ton, 12 meters, nearly 1 gram per ton, a longer intercept, 55 of half. These are all mineable grades. I mean, there's nothing home run yet that they've found. They haven't found 100 meters or 200 meters of these, But look at the swath here. Look at what they found. Come down to this one. Here's a higher grade. It's short, but it's high grade. A meter of 14 grams per ton. That's high grade. Look at the scale here. This is 300 meters. So they have already found gold. These are the historical drill holes. They've already found gold. What is this? That's 300 meters. I mean, this is well over a kilometer. This is about 1.5 kilometers right here. And they're finding mineable grades near the surface. And this is just based on drill holes that were done decades ago. They haven't done any of the modern drilling yet on this property. Imagine if they apply modern methods, modern drill practices, and they expand this. That is the potential here. But you know, they're not just sticking drills into the ground randomly. We have the historical resource estimate. We have the fact that they produced 24,000 ounces of gold here in the past to guide us. So that's why I like this. You've got basically a greenfield market cap. You've got a minuscule market cap for a legitimate past producing property. These over here, the Rise and Shine mine is part of the deposit that Santana Minerals owns. Remember, Santana is that larger company, $340 million market cap right here with the 2.5 million ounce discovery 20 kilometers away. This is why we're talking about a second Otago gold rush. Look at some of the initial results that Santana had in here, green, when they made that discovery, 12 meters of 2 grams per ton. Compare that to what KO Gold has already found, 12 meters of 2 grams per ton. 12 meters of 1.7 for Santana. 12 meters of 1.1. Here's a higher one, 21 meters of 2. How about here? 55 meters of 0.5 gram per ton. So, I mean, you're getting in the vicinity of what they originally started to find at the Rise and Shine, which is a portion of the overall Bendigo project here, which is the flagship project that we talked about by Santana Minerals. You're getting similar grades. Look at this, 17 meters of 1 gram per ton, 2 meters of high grade 14 grams per ton, 2 meters of high grade 14, right? So you're getting a lot of similarities here from the existing drilling at KO compared to that new gold rush discovery that Santana made in 2020, okay? So the signature is there. Past producing mine, I just want to say this again. I mean, nothing is guaranteed. I mean, right? If they were to stick drills into the ground and find absolutely nothing, then the market probably wouldn't change very much or might even go down a little bit from here. But they're not sticking drills into the ground blindly. They have a historical 600,000 ounce resource. This is a past producing mine. If they expand this into the vicinity of 2.5 million, that is over a 100-fold increase in the market caps between Santana and KO Gold. 20 kilometers away. Really think about this risk to reward. And remember, you only have to be right once in a way like this to radically change your possibilities in life. So that is the Carrick property owned by KO Gold. Now I want to focus, this is going to be hard to believe, this isn't the only flagship property that KO Gold has. That's every time I do more research into this, I actually get more and more excited. I think I'm going to be taking a larger position in this than I originally thought that I would. They basically have 2 flagship projects. One is the Carrick that we talked about. 2 is Smilers, right here, Smilers. And this is the one I talked about in the beginning that is literally adjacent to OceanaGold's producing mine. Do you see the map here? Do you see the border? The red is KO Gold. This green right here is OceanaGold. They're touching. And there's the producing gold mine, the Macraes gold deposit, 1.5 million ounces. None of these deposits here need to be 10 or 20 million ounces. These are all reasonable sized deposits, but the market is giving it a very good valuation, especially Santana, because why? You're in a pro-friendly, mining jurisdiction here. The southern island of New Zealand clearly is in favor of producing gold. They have been in the past. They are now. They're in favor of permitting these. So the market is giving these very favorable market caps when they find something noteworthy. So what I want to do now is just talk about this Macraes gold project right here. This is an open pit and underground mine owned by OceanaGold. They're doing carbon and leach extraction. This has been producing since 1990. This is not a new discovery. This one has been producing for almost 35 years. It still has almost 2 million ounces of gold in the total resource category. If you add the 1.3 and the 0.4, you're getting close to 2 million ounces, of which 0.6 million or 600,000 ounces is proven and probable. So slightly smaller overall deposit here, but they're in production, and they have been for 35 years. And that property literally touches the property of KO Gold, called the Smilers project here. By the way, they're producing 125,000 ounces per year at grades between 0.7 and 1.8 for underground. You don't need super high grades here to produce this. When gold is above $4,000 per ounce, so many of these grades that may have not been profitable 10 years ago are suddenly extremely profitable. Let's zoom it in now, and you can see this is the map. So in green is the Smilers project right here, owned by KO Gold, and in yellow is OceanaGold's existing deposit, the Macraes deposit, and they have several different sub-deposits in that entire production outfit here. But look, this is the border. They literally touch. And then if you look behind the green right here, you will see the existing drilling that they've done. So can you understand, the geology extends like this? The geology of OceanaGold extends like this clearly, because look at what they're finding. They're finding mineable grades. Yeah, these are not huge intercepts, but they're decent intercepts. 10 grams per ton over a meter, 3 meters of 1.4, 3 meters of 2.5, 3 meters of 2, 9 meters of 1, 5 meters of 3.4. These are all historical drill holes. None of these holes have been done recently. So when they do a modern program here, you already clearly have what is a mineable deposit on OceanaGold. Clearly that mineralogy, that geology is extending onto KO Gold's Smilers project. Clearly it is. You would not be finding grades like this, scattered over hundreds of meters in multiple directions if this geology was not similar and extending from one property to the other. So there is gold here. The question is how much? And what is the threshold between what's the obvious outcome for this? What is the threshold that OceanaGold wants to see before they say, hey, KO Gold, we're going to buy this property from you for 20, 30, 50, $100 million, right? What is the threshold? How much drilling do they want to see? Those are conversations for the future, but this property is going to be drilled in the upcoming drill program, which is what we are helping to finance here in this private placement. They're going to be doing 7 to 10 new drill holes to expand the existing footprint of gold. And then from there, in the next drill program after that, they will do a heck of a lot more drill holes, expanding from what they find in the 2026 program coming up. So let's just talk about Gregory Eisner. He is the president and CEO. I know Greg personally. I've met him in person. I speak to him on the phone quite often. I have a very high opinion of his trustworthiness. He appears to be a straight shooter. He doesn't get 100% of things right. No one does. Not myself, not you. No one in the mining business or the investment world gets 100% of things right. But he has a good track record. 50 years. This guy's been in the mining industry for 50 years. He's in his early 70s. He has several major discoveries that he has already led that are under his belt. He's discovered the Condioli gold project in Mali back then when he was CEO of Roscan. When he was CEO of Merrick's Gold, 2005 to 2017, they found a mine here that was later acquired by IM Gold Corp. IM Gold is a major Canadian gold mining company that also has one mine in West Africa. He discovered 2 additional significant deposits in Mali, this one here and another one which was bought out by IM Gold. So, in sum, Greg Eisner has been in this business for 50 years. I know him personally. He's a straight shooter. This is his new project. He is convinced, based on our conversations over the phone, that there is going to be, over the next 3 to 5 years, that there is going to be a Otago Gold Rush 2.0. The first gold rush was in the 1860s. You've got a producing gold mine right next to their mine. You have a new discovery by Santana Minerals, and they are playing off this entire region going forward as being a major new hotspot in a politically safe jurisdiction. Insiders own 30% of the company. That is very nice to see, so they believe in the success here going forward. Let's now talk about what really matters, which is the chart. I mean, we could be having that conversation. If this was already trading up at 60 or 70 or making a new all-time high cents, I'd say, hey, great, congratulations on your success, but I'm not interested. Look at where it's trading here. It's at the all-time lows. This company has only been around for the last 2.5 years. You had a nice decline happening. People weren't interested. From 2024, we saw a lot of the gold miners still suffering 2024 into the beginning of this year. Gold finally broke out to new all-time highs. A lot of the large cap companies started moving. You break the downtrend, and now look, it's forming a very nice base here. Call it a year-long base below 25 cents, initial resistance. Secondary resistance all the way up here at 48 to 50 cents. I think both of these levels, remember, we're going to be buying at 15 cents. We're going to be basically buying at the absolute bottom for the last year. I mean, just to get back to the initial resistance is going to be close to a 70% gain from 15 cents. To get back up here would be a 200% gain up at the secondary resistance. But this is extremely possible. Remember, the market cap is so small, it's less than 3 million. I mean, a company can literally go from 3 million to 5 million overnight, or 5 million to 10 million, based on 2 good drill holes. So this is feasible. The chart is as good as we could ask for. Liquidity is light, remember, still, because the company is in a very early stage. If they find nothing additionally from this point forward, it'll just stay in this range and kind of grind lower, right? So there's always that risk. But they've got an existing deposit immediately adjacent to the producing Macraes gold mine that is showing mineable grades across the property. And they've got that Carrick property 20 kilometers away from the Santana new discovery, the Santana Minerals new discovery that has that market cap of over 300 million. And remember, that project there that KO Gold owns is a past producing gold mine with a historical 600,000 ounce resource. So, I mean, a couple good drill holes here, and any of this is possible from a realistic standpoint. I just want to show you the difference if you buy shares in the open market and the share price goes, let's say, from 15 to 25 cents, 67% gain. Yeah, in that sort of modest outcome, the warrant, which has a strike price of 25 cents, is not going to get you anything additional, so you'll still have the 67% gain. But it's more like here, if the share price rises from 15 to 50, back up here, you get a 233% gain from the shares alone. The warrants get you an additional 100% gain, so you go up to 333%. That's how you really make the big money, is when you add the warrants onto the share gains. Similar thing here, if this company goes to 75 cents, makes a new all-time high, you bump up the 400% open market to 600% total gain. So that is risk and reward potential for KO Gold. The plans for 2026 at Smilers, which remember is adjacent to OceanaGold's producing Macraes mine, they're going to do 15 to 20 drill holes coming up this next quarter. We should have assay results late second quarter, beginning of third quarter 2026. So we don't need to wait for 3 years here. This should we should have a good sense of, hey, is this the next major expansion of the Gold Rush 2.0 in Otago? We should know that in year 2026. And remember, they're not just shooting drill holes into the ground blindly. You've got a producing gold mine right next door. And then at Carrick, 25 kilometers from Santana, remember, they have the historical gold production, 600,000 ounces historical gold resource. They're going to be doing 7 to 10 holes coming up. And again, we should have those assay results Q2, Q3 of 2026. So, you've got two major potentials here. I don't know which one of these to call the flagship project. In my opinion, they're both really flagship projects, just on different levels. This could so easily be a buyout target. The Smilers could so easily be bought out by OceanaGold if they show something decent here. And Carrick could be a game changer if they have something at all similar to Santana and can grow this historical resource. Okay, that is it. KO Gold is a company I am putting my own money into right now. If you would like to join us in the private placement, remember, you get the shares at the immediate 20% profit, and then you get the free warrants in addition to that for even more upside gain. If you would like to join us in that private placement, the deadline is Friday, December 19th. You've got to get registered and return your subscription form. So I would not wait until the end of the day Friday. You should be on the phone or sending an email to us, or you can just join right on our website. Go right to igoldadvisor.com, click on Elite Private Placements, and you can join and get access to our allocation of this one. This could be one of the last opportunities ever in the gold mining world to obtain these free warrants. Remember, if you join us in the Elite Private Placements, you also get a free subscription to Precious Metals Intelligence Plus. This service sells for $800 per year on its own. You can subscribe to this service. In that, you get to learn about what's going on with physical gold, physical silver, the rest of the mining sector, Bitcoin, the U.S. stock market, the currency commodity markets, as well as the exact buy and sell signals that we are using for all of the open market trades that we're making. Every time that I buy and sell anything related to gold, silver, or the mining companies in the open market, you receive a flash update right to your inbox. If you'd like to join us, if you're a higher net worth investor in the private placement, that is this separate service here called Elite Private Placements. Last but not least, remember, I'm a completely independent analyst. I do not take any fees or kickbacks or anything from any of these companies. All of this research is my own independent analysis on gold, silver, and the mining sector when appropriate. If you would like to sit down and speak with me one-on-one, my schedule is pretty full throughout the rest of the year. But getting into the new year, we can sit down. You can book a 30 or a 60-minute consultation right on the website. Just click on the consultations tab and you can set a time. And we simply discuss your situation from this independent and researched perspective. Friday, December 19th for the KO Gold private placement. Do not miss this one because remember, we have a 100% success rate over the last 2 years. All these doubles and triples, you add this all up. Do not miss this one, guys. Why? Because you only have to be right once to change your life forever.